harder! My turn!
Dragon Shout! I can handle it!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop!
Damn, you beat me to it.
Gotta be quick, or I'll take them all myself.
Oh, like hell you
Do it! I'll finish you!
do. Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say that again. Let's see what you've got.
Begin!
Instinct
sharpen!
Begin!
Radiant Waterfall! I'll take out the lake!
Elusive Deity! Tornado Drive! Does it hurt?
Don't mind if I do!
Elusive Deity! Tornado Drive! I'll face you!
I never miss! Get on!
Does it hurt? Tempest! Catapult!
Look sharp!
Elusive Deity!
Now, Tiger
Tornado
Blade!
Drive!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Take light
Can you take it?
Is every shield you own that big?
Here, you want to try holding it?
Ugh. How do you even walk with this thing? Hoo hoo. Hoo. Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo. Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Coming through.
Let my burn up! Annihilation!
Can you take it?
Burning
Catapult! Elusive Deity! I'll face you! In a bind?
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Done! Leave it to you!
We managed to turn the tide.
For now, but things could shift at a moment's notice.
You're right. Better stay alert.
Elusive Deity! Tornado Drive!
Tiger Blade!
Lightning strike. Sion, astral energy. Full throttle. Certainly not bad. No complaints here.
A fish! You saw it too.
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Where should I cast my line? Yeah! Reel it in. That wasn't much of a challenge.
Nice! You caught it!
I hope we catch something decent.
Indeed. Hungry bellies are counting on this. Time to try a different spot. Hup. Reel it in. I'll get you next time. Reel it in. I'll catch something bigger next time.
Maybe you could keep it as a pet.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us. Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh rending cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
Mind if I join you, Law?
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomachache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went and tried to learn as much from him as I could. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot.
That definitely sounds like him.
It's nothing to get sad over. Still, I can't help but wonder if that was my dad's way of teaching me the dangers of rushing into things too quickly. Then again, maybe I'm just overthinking things. I wish I'd had more time to talk to him about this kind of stuff. See you guys tomorrow. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Begin! Tornado drive!
Airborne beast. My defense.
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Elusive deity! Tornado drive! Can you take it?
Water, hear my call.
Can you take it? Does it hurt?
Whoa, I'm impressed. Shield, go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Not by a long shot! Right! Hurricane catapult!
Do it.
Elusive deity!
Shield, go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
Glacial spear.
I'll take you! Elusive deity! Take this! In a bind? Can you take it? Elusive deity! Tornado drive! You're mine! It's on! This one's mine! Tornado
Lightning strike! Major blade! Burning strike!
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
All right. There's nowhere to run from my art.
When he slows down, that's our chance!
Leave the agile ones to me. Now or never. Can't get out of this! I'll face you! Take this! Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and totally to me.
Prepare to be sealed!
Here!
Elusive deity! A new melody! Hitting wildfire! I'll face you! In a bind?
Lightning!
On the ground! Catapult!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare to Malisa!
Ringler! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around.
Certainly not. In a bind?
Lion power!
Do it now!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ashes!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Dahnan relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Dahnan history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I said...
Skills in top form, art's working like a charm. Ha!
Someone seems rather pleased with herself.
Did you hear all of that?
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Dispose of the trash.
You want me? Come get me!
With Air Force targets.
This one's mine!
Look out, fire! I've got this! Let us marksman!
All yours!
This
one's mine!
Can you take it? Rotating fire!
Come on! Now! Astral energy! Full throttle! Wonderful!
Rotating pile driver! Take this!
Where are you going?
On your knees!
Hurricane strike! Lightning strike!
Do
In
it!
a bind?
Let's reload!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Nicely done!
Begin! Shion!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Step back! This one's all law!
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
Come on!
Where are you going?
Like the morning firefighter! Can you take it?
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Elusive deity! Prepare to be sealed. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking and more doing! It's taken too much damage! Now!
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Begin! Certainly not.
That's a bit. My extra raging cascade! I'm ready! Catapult! Dance in the wind!
Elusive deity! Look sharp, thank you! Rotating pile driver!
Wait now!
Lightning strike!
This is
Penumbra!
Hurricane strike!
Prepare to be sealed! Take this! No further!
Lightning strike!
Begin! Take this!
Bananas, let's go!
Catapult!
House it!
Elusive deity! This one's all mine!
Seal!
Rotating pile driver! Ignite! Begin!
It's over!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
Can you take it? Adversity is said to be the best motivation.
Here, let me help!
Forgive me. This is life. Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
I'll bring you back from death to resuscitation!
Elusive deity!
All in order.
You're going pretty hard in this battle.
I am not usually given to restraint.
Sometimes I believe you're stronger than you let on.
All yours, Kisara!
Good to know my training's paying off.
And what, pray tell, does this training of yours entail?
Why? Interested in joining me?
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
Out of our way!
Ready to go! You got company! Not in your dreams! Lunar corruption! Lunar blast! Hail force! Charger force!
Take it!
It's a duel of the arts!
Dating pile
Here goes! I'm Wind Lancer!
An astral arts?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Lightning strike!
Penumbra!
Hurricane strike!
Dating pile driver! No further!
Thunder shield! Dance in the wind!
Catapult!
Air thrust! Light as dance in the wind!
Negative gate! Begin!
Stockpile!
Where was I? Catapult!
Tempest Storm! Up and at 'em!
Elusive
Let's go!
deity! Tornado
Razor
drive!
Cyclone! Delicion! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
On your knees! Air pressure!
Not on my watch! We managed to turn the tide!
For now. But things could shift at a moment's notice.
You're right. Better stay alert. Here
Dating pile
goes!
driver!
Hurricane Blade! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Photon flash!
You're stronger than any Renan soldier I've ever met.
They don't just let anybody have a place in the Royal Guard.
Indeed. So I've heard.
Can you take it?
Thunder Shield! Here!
My exploits are bearing fruit. Let's see what you've got.
You wanna play? Then come at
Can
me!
you take it?
Let me help.
A new melody!
One more!
I'll face you!
Feel! Orbit the stockpile!
Stalagmite! How sick!
Feel! Leave the enemy's arc to
Take
me!
this! No complaints here!
Feel force!
Pressure!
Alright! It's showtime!
How sick! In a bind? Can you take it?
Frozen!
Hammer!
Nicely done!
I'll face you!
All thanks to you.
Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver!
Denied!
Now!
Take this!
Catapult!
All yours, Kisara!
Tempest Swirl!
Begin!
Lunar Corona! Now!
All yours, Kisara! This calls for a celebratory drink.
Go no further!
Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Not today!
Can you take it? It's like trying to keep up with a wall! You won't get away with that! Here's your pile driver! Let him hit that! Flame of Fury! Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Begin!
Is there no way out?
I couldn't make it in time. Can you take
Not
it?
like this.
Begin! It's time! Seismic rush!
That's been a smart.
In a bind! Begin!
Lightning condemned!
Tempest! I can carve through armor!
I'll bring you back from death.
Elusive!
Purge, Malevolent!
I'll face
I
you!
can't heal you forever!
Hitting pile
In
driver!
here! There! The house that... Where are you going? Pushing you all cuts away!
I'll face you!
Hit!
Lost.
Banana! Let's go!
Elusive!
Three more balls!
You're most comfortable at a range, aren't you?
And not really built for close quarters combat.
Ignore him.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Seismic rush! Certainly not.
Radiant Storm! Celestial Runner!
Ignite!
Floppy.
Stay away from my friend!
Tempest Swirl!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Puddle!
Win!
Light Astro... Now!
Goodwill!
Demon's Descent!
Flashing Fang! My turn! You're mine!
Gang
Soaring
Waterfall!
to...
Freeze Lancer!
Step back! This one's all law! Oh, this looks nice and tough.
We've reached our destination.
Want something to munch on, Hootle?
Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Hey, what do you say we fight that shining enemy?
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
You want a stick? Armor won't save you!
Annihilation!
Can you take it? Does it hurt?
Let me help.
We've got fire!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
An astral, all yours!
Lunar eruption! Hurricane! Here goes! Lunar blast!
Stalagmite!
Here's a healing art!
Hurricane!
Shield!
Seismic rupture!
Eruption!
Come on! I'll grind you with the dust!
Annihilation! Into the shadow! Big waterfall! Here's a healing art!
Can you take it?
Far enough! Dance to the wind! Feel! I'll be saving this one!
Tempest!
It's close! Shining supernova! Take that! It's showtime! Sweet dreams!
Now you've gone and
You're
ticked
most
me
comfortable
off.
at a range, aren't you?
And not really built for close quarters combat.
Nor am I. Don't worry. I'll help you keep a wide berth.
Lightning strike!
Stalagmite!
Water! Here goes!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
With this, I can become even stronger. Little help!
Can you take it? Prepare to be seen! Can you take it? Seismic rupture! Can't get out of this! Stalagmite! Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Now you see what I can do!
Photon raging cascade!
Begin!
Glacial
I'll
spear!
grind you with the
Take it right!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
Magnificently done!
Raging cascade!
Seismic rupture!
Make it rain!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Dance in the wind!
I'll
I'm
thank
only
you.
getting here! Hurricane strike!
On your
Down in there with the others! Here goes!
Air pressure!
Banana! Let's go! Raging cascade! Now! Here!
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
This is barely target practice.
Then why bother fighting them?
Because I certainly won't run away from a battle.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here?
Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I had to guess, it probably served as some kind of shrine.
So still a house, in a sense. Just for a god.
I won't forgive you!
I'll face you!
This one's mine!
I'll grind you into dust!
Lightning Blazer! Dance in the
Take
wind!
this!
Air thrust by the
This one's mine!
Malevolent!
Tiger Blade!
Sleep now! Flame of fury!
Free!
What if they just
Do it!
Triumph, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Make it rain!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a... Little help!
I'll face you!
Hurricane
A
strike!
New melody!
Here! Lightning strike!
Resonate with the earth!
Here's the evil!
Stalagmite!
Lightning strike! Lancer!
Can you take it?
Leave the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here!
Stalagmite! Go in! Here's the healing arc! Here goes!
Down! You're all
Does it hurt? Not so fast!
on guard!
Tempest!
Don't mind if I do! Going in!
Begin!
Hurricane, make it rain!
Outfit! In an instant! Impact Frost!
Going in! Rage Evil! Banana, let's go! Mega Ray!
Seismic Rupture! This calls for a celebratory drink. I shall ensure you survive this. Begin! Seismic Rupture! Elusive Deity! I'll face you! The enemy wields arms too.
We'll soon see about that!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Here's a healing arc!
Does it hurt?
Far enough!
How's this?
I can only rely on myself. I'm all
Going
going
in!
in! Annihilation!
Dance on the wind!
Hurricane strike!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Don't mind if I do.
Seismic Rupture!
What now?
I'll grind you into dust!
I'll bring you
Dance on the wind!
lightning condensed!
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
I'll bring you back from death. Lightning of
Elusive Deity! Rotating pile
Now
driver!
here's a healing arc. Get on in there with the enemy.
In your death. Can you take it?
All right. It's showtime.
Dance on the wind!
Mega Ray.
Look sharp!
Take that.
Rotating pile driver! Tornado drive! No further!
Now.
Hurricane Springwell!
Frozen.
Hammer! We're still standing. Barely.
Let's see what you've got. Begin! Elusive Deity! Rotating Begin!
Time to shine.
Seismic Rupture!
Here's a healing arc. First aid.
Elusive Deity!
and ticked me off!
I never miss! Hurricane
Tornado Drive!
Motor not in your dreams! Hurricane Flash!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Glacial Spear!
What I can
Here's
do!
evil! Lightning Steel Breeze Lancer!
I can handle it!
Rotating Pile Driver! Tornado Drive!
Here, let me help!
Denied!
I'll face you!
My astral energy!
Seismic Rupture! Take this!
My Cascade in the wind!
I'll face you!
Air thrust! Here, let me help!
I'll face you!
Right! Piercing roar!
Do it! I'm on a roll!
I'll grind you into dust!
Your power is a spectacle to behold.
I'm not trying to be dramatic, is it?
Ringwell! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
I feel sprightlier than before.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Can you take it? Tornado Drive!
This one's mine!
I'm only getting started!
Take this!
Let me help! Here goes! First aid!
Seismic Rupture!
You're out on my watch! Hurricane Flash!
Does it hurt? Elusive Deity!
Here's a
Rotating
healing
Pile
art!
Driver!
First aid!
Does it hurt?
Thunder Field! A banana! Let's go!
I'll face you!
Raging Cascade!
Seismic Rupture!
This one's mine!
Grapple Fast! Elusive Deity!
Here's a healing art!
Rotating Pile
I'll be
Driver!
saving
Let's see what I can do!
I can handle it!
Can you take it?
This one's torn up!
In a bind?
First aid! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Do it!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
Let me help!
Magnificently done!
This one's mine! Here's my call! This one's mine! Here's a flame of fury! Burning strike! Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Begin!
I'm glad if I do! Breeze Lancer! Hurricane Strike!
Seismic Rupture!
Now!
More! Blow them away!
Hurricane Strike!
Can you take it? I'm right!
Hurricane Strike!
I'll grind you into dust! Elusive Scopa! Rotating Pile Driver!
Now!
I'm right!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
This'll make us even more formidable.
Let's see what you've got. Take this! I can carve through armor! Can you take it? Tempting! Catapult! I got you! Take this! Elusive Deity! Rotating Pile Driver!
Do it! Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! Can you take it? I'll face you!
Let me help! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Go ahead!
Elusive Deity! Begin! Does it hurt? Tidal battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack!
Indeed. Remain ever vigilant.
Back into the fray!
I'll face you! How's this?
Field!
I'll face you!
A lord's power never ceases to amaze me.
From a lord. I'm as regular as the next. Blow them away! My exploits are bearing fruit.
Out of our way!
Hitting fire!
Don't worry, I got plenty to go around.
Piercing! Now you see what I can do!
Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
I'll face you!
Here, let me help! Appreciate the help!
Elusive deity! Begin! In a bind!
Here! Hurricane Strike! Here I go! Strike! Back into the hurricane strike! Dance in the wind! Sleep now!
Catapult!
Get out of there with him!
We're taking too many
Here's
hits!
the evil!
Elusive deity!
Sleep now!
Rotating pile driver!
Love us away! Dance in the wind! Help! Air thrust! First aid!
Can you take it?
Catapult!
You're most comfortable at a range.
Take your break!
And not really built for so frozen!
Hammer!
Nicely done!
Begin! I've used too
All
much.
thanks to you.
I'll face you! Begin!
Field! Gemini off! Get out of there with
Deity!
him!
Rotating pile driver!
Don't get complacent.
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
I can't hold on much longer!
Rotating pile driver!
You see this coming?
Burning strike! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
Elusive deity!
Freeze Lancer! Freeze
Rotating
Lancer!
pile
Dance in the wind! Don't mind if I do! Going in! First aid!
Rotating pile driver!
Flaming meteor!
One more time! Radiant! Here!
Catapult!
In here! Ready!
Elusive deity! Not so fast!
Far enough!
Sear!
Going in.
Reload!
Tiger blade!
Annihilate! Dance in the wind!
Hurricane
Air
fire!
thrust!
Their arcs were interrupted.
Gale Force!
Look sharp! Tiger blade!
Really are as strong as they're said to be. Potatoes, potatoes. You're going pretty hard in this battle.
I am not usually given to restraint.
Sometimes I believe you're stronger than you let on. Don't mind if I do.
Tiger blade!
Now!
Outfit! In an instant! Impact block!
Glacial Spear! Pierce the evil! Now
Look sharp!
Mighty Lash!
Rotating pile
Lightning
driver!
Charge Malevolent!
This one's mine! Tiger blade!
Piercing now! Air thrust! Photon Tiger
Ground!
This one's mine!
I never miss!
Going in!
Lightning Arm!
Elusive deity!
Dance in the wind!
Tornado drive!
Take this! Photon Charge
I'm ready!
Malevolent!
Going in! Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
With this, I can become even stronger!
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Elde Menancia of its enemies and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along, but it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
I need something to eat. What's that big tower over there?
Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
Made it through another day.
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
I'd like to check their wares if you don't mind.
Not this way, I guess. Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
It's weakened! This one's mine!
This ends now!
Tiger Blade!
Swordblade Alpha!
Take this!
Lightning Strike!
You require
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Demon Fang! Here I come! Demon Fang! Sword Blade! Demon Fang! Demon Fang! Try harder! Dragon Swarm!
Let me help!
No! Can't get here!
Come on! You have to hold on!
I'll bring you back
Tiger
from
Blade!
this abyss!
Here! Hurricane Strike! Let them mark! Lightning Strike! Here's a healing arcane strike! First aid!
This one! Their arts were interrupted!
Lunar corruption! Lightning condense! Shower of water!
Enjoy.
Far enough!
Here! Here's a healing arc!
See what I can do!
Here I come!
First aid! Back into the fray! Alright!
Demon
Enjoy.
Get on in there with the others! Here's
Take
a
this
healing
one's all mine! Okay, here up.
in here!
Burn!
Show.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Dahnan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Saar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Saar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Dahnans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renan district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Dahnan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Dahnans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Dahnans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Dahnans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris. Do you think it could be the work of Renan Astral Arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shion has got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadeye's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadeye. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.
Do you sense one of your friends, Poodle?
So you're Elfin, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
Why, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quietly.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danans in this realm, is it not? If so,
Shut your
then—
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danans, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Whoa. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of this show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. The scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you know that. Maybe it's 'cause you and the little lady are friends and more.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danan's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye'm, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye'm! Liberator Deadeye'm! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up! Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renan pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye'm said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renans.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Beifan? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye'm.
This isn't Deadeye'm's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renans as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renans. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
I get the feeling Deadeye's signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niez, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shionne. It's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him, too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zeugle. Plus, Niez is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell!
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Viscent once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
What's wrong? All right.
Yeah!
Good.
All right!
I wonder if something happened.
Oh, yeah? How's this? Great!
Yes. Hey. Ah?
Good.
Really? What? Yes!
All right. Right.
Really?
What?
Huh?
All right.
Yes!
Over there!
Huh? Yes!
All right.
Yes!
Huh.
All right.
By the by, Xion, if you don't mind my asking, would you be willing to share what sort of clothes are currently in fashion on Rena sometime?
Sure, as long as you call me Captain.
Sir, yes, sir, Captain Xion.
I was just joking. Kinda has a nice ring to it, though.
We've got all the ingredients for that recipe now!
Great! I'll let you cook then.
Wait, what? That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shionne. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
Got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
Ugh, even the inside of my mouth is all sandy.
Hootle, don't get blown away, okay?
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed, Mahag Saar is the realm of wind, just as Ganath Haros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
what is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
Oh?
Yes! Very nice.
Is that so? You don't say.
How?
I see.
Hey! Sure.
Nice work.
Oh?
Very nice.
Well?
Yes! What?
What?
I don't believe this!
All right.
No.
Sure.
Really now.
Yes! What?
What?
Very nice. Yes.
Well, that was a huge miscalculation.
Yet you've drained your glass all the same.
Alphen, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but... frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing, having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the Guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?